Hi, I'm Erik Aase. I'm a partner within ISG Research and the global head of ISG Provider Lens. It's my privilege to be with my colleague Mark Smith, who is a partner also in ISG Research and the global head of software research. So, Mark, really exciting topic that you cover, which we call digital business, and it covers workplace of the future, ESG, and also digital communications. So in all of those things, there's so many trends. What are the key ones that you would call out if I'm asking you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. I think the key thing is that organizations have set different priorities for digital business. And I think what we found in organizations is that they are also bringing on new leaders, chief digital officers, in some cases, chief technology officers, but there's even chief experience officers. They're looking at the digital experiences of using applications and technology more effectively in their workforce. And when you look at that, that's just not one software category, it's many software categories, right? It can be quite complex, right? The question is, where are the pain points in organizations in regards to productivity, work effectiveness, and how that comes together? So we look at those trends and say, okay, what are the right kind of lens that they should be using to evaluate software that can have a material impact to the day-to-day work of workers, but also at the management level. How do you become more effective at digital business? And frankly, make it an imperative, a priority for how you make your software investments inside of your corporation.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of chiefs there. So how do we deal with them? How do we help them make the best decision? So as you said, it's a wide landscape. There's many different things we could do. What is it that we're going to do to help them make the best software purchasing decision?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And making software purchase decisions is never easy. It can be highly political and quite sensitive in regards to people's familiarity with particular tools and their loyalty to particular vendors in some case. We know it can be quite contentious in regards to changing out some of these core software vendors. And so, at ISG, we focus on stepping back and asking the tough questions, right? What are the priorities? What are the goals? What are intentions? And then how do we rationalize the technology investments to really reach those business objectives? Sounds easy, but it requires research, requires advisory to come together to help the client meet their mission.
So that leads to a great point. So as ISG, all the advisors, everyone, what can we all do to help make this more successful as we launch and continue to produce research, software specific for this category?
Yeah, software research and what we're doing in digital business here at ISG is an essential framework of how do we look at the future of work and work management tools. How do we look more effectively at ESG and the technologies to look at the whole environmental social governance, and that runs not just from kind of sustainability, but all the way down to people and how they're compensated. And then, of course, we have to also look at the elements of how that comes together to reach the communications technology. If there's one thing that corporations are running into these days is maybe a couple too many different communication tools, right? What we use for messaging, for email, internal, external. So here at ISG, we need to make sure that we all work together to get the research being deployed and used within the advisors. There's a significant value in what we're enabling ISG to do worldwide to reach their mission.
And I think you and I would both agree that at the end of the day, what they can do best is to get the research out into the market. Absolutely. Don't hesitate to share with their clients. Talk about it, be proud of the research we're doing, and help show how we leverage it internally.
We do a phenomenal job here at ISG to make sure our research is easily accessible in all shapes and forms around the world, so that the real hard work can be put in place, right? What is that advisory and consulting that then uses the research to really expedite the changes and how management can actually organizationally get their head around how digital business should actually operate.
Right. Well, Mark, it's great to chat with you. There's a lot of things for us to talk about. Thanks for your time today.